that your battery icon? Oh, that ain't no battery icon. Not the phone. We already lost our home. Can't lose our $800 iPhone while we're at it. Oh boy, he ain't gonna be able to transform. He's basically getting the equivalent of whiskey. Yo, he's like, I swear this Viagra's gonna kick in. Boom! There are people online who generally want to convince you that Kaiju number 8 is mid. That this season coming out later in this anime season it makes it look small in comparison to all the other great anime that have aired. I unapologetically say you are wrong. This shit is awesome. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patreon is where you'll catch my full live reactions. So, I thought the return last week was great. It was fire. We essentially one-shotted Godzilla and it was awesome. This week, a swarm of giant kaiju ants come up. And I already know there's gonna be bitching, they're gonna be moaning. There was 3D to those ants. Who fucking cares, bro? Like, at the end of the day, I think a large part of the anime community doesn't know the difference between animation and art design. Because the actual animation to those ants was fantastic the whole time. And given their giant monstrosities, absolutely. Texturing and art consistency does make them look distracting, off and on. But overall, to say this episode is poorly animated, like I already know plenty will, is a baffling statement because this was awesome. And the idea of essentially stage fright, which is what our boy Kafka was going through, because, you know, he's been given a pretty big second chance that, hey, you're coming on to the best division, you're gonna clean up the streets. Go get him, Tiger. And essentially he can't transform. Like, he transforms, but it breaks. And he tries it like 3 times in this episode, and essentially every time it's limp dick syndrome. It's really what it is. It's like he's not able to perform. And throughout the episode, I'm thinking, okay, is it a specific thing? Like, I wasn't sure if we were going just pure nervousness, but by the end, I really think that is what it is. Because if he does go on a rampage, it's kind of like the Levi to Eren in Attack on Titan. If he goes too crazy, I'll put him down, I'll kill him, no big deal. And that's kind of what it feels like. I think in the back of his mind, even if he's not actively thinking of it, he is worried. Like, what if I transform and can't control it? I mean, the last time he transformed, he did go on a rampage and almost kill our boys. So, it's understandable. But when Kaiju number 9 is in front of you saying, hey buddy, is that you? Almost didn't recognize you. Put on your suit and let's hit the town. Yeah, he ain't doing too hot. Luckily, we had 2 badasses who were able to, salvage it for the meantime. You got the new best boy Narumi, who's out here apparently in one frame begging for money because he gave Jeff Bezos his bank account and he takes it as direct withdrawals. Never trust a billionaire with that, but bless his heart. 2, I'm going to kick ass and take names. He saves children in this episode, and he says, make sure you promote me at least 10 times about how great I am. But there's no denying that I fully believe he can take on doppelganger number 1 of Kaiju number 9 by himself. And as for Shinomiya, I think she'll do pretty well as well. I mean, she's showed a lot of promise, and she's already kind of like going off of like things she's seen other captains and stuff do, and she's kind of utilizing it for herself. We got some badasses on hand. Now, granted, will I be surprised if either one of these or both of them, needs Kaiju number 8 to finish it off? No, because essentially Kaiju number 9 be a different beast. But I'm also not going to be surprised if we push him back and it's kind of like a failed mission for Kafka as a character. And, I mean, if we're going to go the Attack on Titan approach, he might need a little training. He might need some supervision of transforming, because at the end of the day, while he's been able to transform up to this point, the idea that now everyone knows, and he probably has that fear of, if I go too crazy, I'll be put down, I'll be killed, and also, what if I can't do it? Like, there's so much pressure. They need to put him in a controlled environment and give him the ability to train. Not just doing laps around the circuit here. Like, no, like, let him actually properly train. Because as cool as it is to see him do partial transformations and punch, it's not strong enough, right? There's a lot of uncertainty, and that type of emotional distraught is what helps separate a character like Kafka from your run-of-the-mill shonen MCs, who just, you know what, they gave me a shot, power up. Natsu gets his 4th power up this arc, because he always will. Do I believe Kafka will succeed and be a badass? Absolutely. But I do appreciate that struggle because personally, while I wasn't necessarily thinking about it, as soon as I saw what was happening, it made me say, oh yeah, this is actually competently written because this probably should happen. There should be some form of fear. Or have him properly transform and he gets PTSD of, like, as he's about to do a crazy attack, he's like, oh shit, what if I hit the wrong person? And then that causes him to freak out. That could still happen once he does transform. I don't know, but you get my point. Just an awesome episode. If anything, I actually enjoyed this more than last week, and last week was a fire return. But when you just have a bunch of giant ants, which, truthfully, out of everything on Earth, I probably would put ants up there that if they became giant would be one of the more terrifying creatures. Because, like, I don't like snakes and spiders as an example, but I don't know, there's something about ants when you really look at them up close, like under a microscope, and just how freaky their faces actually are. If you turn them that size, yeah, they definitely gonna freak me out probably more than a giant spider would. I gotta be honest. I don't know, like, maybe I'm crazy for that, but I think it's an appropriate kaiju beast if you ask me. I still have my questions though, man, like, how does anyone afford anything in this world? I said last week, like, why would you want to live in the kaiju capital of the world, even if there's kaiju attacks everywhere else? This place is clearly getting hit more. You have to assume they have insurance in this world, but at the same time, I feel like insurance in this world would act like Florida when it comes to hurricanes and just not honor it. Maybe everything's government funded and that's how everything can get repaired and people don't go homeless. Because the amount of shit that gets destroyed, how would you afford to repair stuff? You know, like, I'm just gonna assume in my own headcanon it's all government funded because I don't think insurance companies could exist in this world, because if they did, they would be going bankrupt in the kaiju capital of the world, and these are the kinds of questions that keep me up at night, but they need to be answered. I mean, we got the kaiju cleanup crew, so I mean, maybe it is all just government funded. Oh, your house got destroyed? Don't worry, Daddy Bezos, who's somehow president, will fix it. I don't know. Either way, I like the characters. I like the production. That opening, I already know a lot of people won't like it. It's a different style. It's a different style both visually and musically. Unironically, one of my favorite openings I've heard this year. I loved it. It was that good. Also, that little gag at the end of the episode with the little talk show. Say something you don't like about him. Promise not to get mad. Never take the bait, bro. Man or woman, never take the bait. Let me know your thoughts down below. I've been loving the return of Kaiju. People apparently want me to think it's mid. I disagree, but you let me know what you're feeling down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, and ring that bell, of course. And Patreon is where you'll catch my full live reactions and other exclusives, like, hey, I give video shoutouts to every single one of my patrons. So today we got Audiosium, Ert Swanson, Jan Peterson, Hune, and we also have Zeekster. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.